everyone, welcome to my live stream. It is Wednesday, which means it's time to get back to my illustration project, Birthday Gryphon greeting card. It's also March, so we have a new charity of the month. It is Food for Life Global. They help feed people all around the world and also help end the sources of hunger in the first place. They even help feed animals, which is awesome. So if you would like to... Oh, hold on. Let me let my animals in. Welcome, Eva. Come on, Chucky. They just came in from going potty outside. Good girls. So if you would like to help me help animals and help feed people all around the world, then there's two things you can do. One, just watch my stream, bring your friends. I make a donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count on Twitch. There's also a donation button if you'd like to donate to them directly. We have a goal of just $10, which is what I usually end up donating at the end of the month, so it's sort of like a match thing. I hope my stream is coming across all right. Let me see if the video is... seems alright to me. It says the bitrate is terrible, so I hope it's not really super bad, but we'll see how it goes. Before we got started on the illustration, I got some stuff in the mail this week that was, I wanted to open it on stream because this is the kind of stuff that everyone is helping me. Oh, hello, Exie! People like Exie are helping me procure when I need it through contributions on Patreon and Twitch subscriptions. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry I had to take a break, but I feel so much better now, so thank you. How were you over this past week? Hope you were good and had a good time, whatever you were doing. So this is one of the recent art career purchases I made. It's the blue lead for my sketching pencil. So now I have like what I had before. Well, maybe I have it here. What I had before was this little teeny tiny 6 lead box, I guess. It's so small. I don't know if you will pack it or whatever. 6 leads. No wonder I ran out once I got really serious about illustrating this year. So instead of this teeny tiny thing, look at this, so small. Nah, I found this on Amazon. 10 per pack, 3-pack, so 30. So this should definitely last me all year, at least. So that's one of the things that I got thanks to everyone's support. Another one that came, so I had to order a bunch of stuff separately. Some places had things in stock and other ones didn't, and what the heck? This one's in stock here, not in stock inside. It's just how it works. This is a big one for Patreon. It's what I think it is. Yep, ink for my printer. This is a nice archival quality. It's I think it's called Claria. Yeah, Claria ink. So it's like museum replication quality ink. It is what I use to make prints, make my postcards, etc. So there's another one on the way as well. So I just wanted to share, since I had these things waiting to be opened anyway. Just wanted to share the kind of things that everyone's support helps me do. So real quick, I'm going to actually get my illustration stuff out. I was running a little bit late since it's the first of the month, which means I gotta change my graphic at the top there, and I gotta change the little info on Twitch and whatnot. So let me see. I don't think I even need this sketchbook, but I'll have my sketchbook out just in case. And where is the actual... Sorry, I'm not looking at my screen right now. I gotta figure out where the heck did I put my sketch. Oh, maybe it's just in here. It is. Okay, now I just need my... Oh, I can show you exactly where the leads are gonna go. Oh, awesome. Exie says I've been alright. You're welcome. How are you? Like I said, I'm feeling so much better, especially today. It's like Monday I was still like, oh. And then Tuesday I was like, wow, I feel a lot better. And then today I'm like, yay, I feel back to normal. So that's really good. I'm going to take a sip of my tea out of my lovely, this is the, I don't want to accidentally spill it. It's pretty nice and tight, but it's from my newest Otome game. I got all of the bonus goodies that came with it, so I got a tumbler from my Otome game. So, delicious tea. I don't know what this one is, but it tastes good. So, yay! Yeah, I think the new. So for anybody watching now or watching the recording later who doesn't know exactly what I'm talking about, I had to take like a mental health break last week, and I'm going to start taking regular breaks because I recently posted about it on Patreon, showing what my schedule is like, but being 100% self-motivated requires a lot of discipline and a lot of organization, a lot of structure, and I have a hard time saying no even to myself, which was really starting to, like, everything was breaking down. I had the same schedule, and yet I could not stick to it anymore, so I realized, okay, in order to do this, I need to refuel, so I'm calling them recharge weeks. I'm going to take recharge weeks, where I'm still doing other stuff. I'm still doing my household chores and whatever. It's not really a vacation, but just take a break from the intense work and have time to do some other things. So hopefully that will work. Otherwise, like, if that doesn't work after a few months, I might have to reduce the amount of time I'm streaming or do something to not ask too much of myself. But it worked so well in January. And January had the first week off for New Year. So I really think just taking a week off every 3-4 weeks will solve the problem. Okay, so where's that blue lead? Yay, I'm so happy. I'm not going to put them all in here. There's not really room for all of them, but I'm going to put one in here. This is my regular sketching drawing kit. It has almost everything I'd ever need. Ah, 2 came out. No, I only wanted 1. All right, I'm going to put it down here in this pocket because I have the red in there already for I have a red pencil that I use as well. So now red and blue are here together. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to put these away. It doesn't look like it from my nice little streaming square here, but my room is a mess. My studio just have piles of stuff everywhere. So I figure if I can just put away these little things right away, then that's one thing that's not cluttering up the space. So I'm going to take that time to put that away. Oh, I was working on my blog before this. I left my little blog productivity focus tracker on. I've got to turn that off. There. I love this thing. It's called Forest. And you grow like little flowers. So I think it's geraniums right now. And then you can see your forest. So this is just from today. And then this week's productivity, the month's productivity, or focus times. And then the year. I love it. I use it all the time to track stuff. I don't use it for like every little thing I do. But I use it to track things that I really want to know how much time I'm spending, like writing or working on my blog or putting time toward Patreon stuff, etc. Okay, now I'm all good. Ooh, actually, yeah, the reason I needed to buy lead was because I'm literally on my last lead. It's the one that's in the tip right now. There's none inside, so no, don't go. This thing tried to run away. Let's put some in here. Oh, this is fancy. This is open. Oh, it's like sealed. There's like a little seal here. That gray stuff is like a little bit of tape. So let's take, oh, my bitrate still looks terrible. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to do about it. It's just not a problem for me. Maybe the internet's just really clogged up around here. Alright, hopefully that works. Ah, it did. Open! Yay! Oh, look at that! I don't think I've ever used one of these and not used my red one yet. Didn't run out of red. I don't use it nearly as much. Oh, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little hole in here so that you can easily get just a little bit out and they won't all come falling crashing onto the floor. Oh, there you can see. It's not in focus, but you can see that there's that. There. Anyway. Oh, wonderful. Yay. Thank you for letting me know. I hate it when I see that like it's a little red line and I got a warning and it says unstable. And I'm like, oh no. What's happening to my stream? But if it's fine for you, like halfway across the world, then I think that I don't need to worry too much. At least not yet. Maybe if it goes terrible, you can let me know. Ah. Okay. Dumped out 3, but they didn't all quite go in where they're supposed to. There. Now there's a total of 4. That should last me a while. 1 actually in the tip of the pencil and 3 in reserve. Wonderful! Okay. I don't think I actually need my sketchbook. I was just a little flustered because I was like, yeah, I have plenty of time. And then I was like, this is taking longer than I thought. Another sip of this tasty tea. It's really good. Even the tea I had before was really good too, but this one is especially good even though it's the second steeping. Oh, one more thing. I got this out because I had a new patron in January, and February they changed to Pen Pal, which is the postcard reward tier, but they said that they still don't want any physical rewards. So I have this postcard. I already asked in my personal, like my private personal Discord if anybody would like it, but all the people who are interested in this kind of thing are already my patron members. So if anybody would like this, please just send me your address and I would be happy to send you this sad birthday griffin, or not birthday, autumn griffins waiting to fly to their homes. So I thought that I might show that here since no one on my personal Discord was interested and it feels so sad to just let it sit there. Okay. I need my clipboard. There. I didn't have this on the clipboard before, but this way it's a lot easier to turn the drawing because this is a kind of sticky, it's like a, I can never remember the name. Oh, vinyl. It's a vinyl table cover, a clear one, and the page sticks to it really badly. So again, I put this on here, and then I have this handle here. All right. Now I have, oops, this is the wrong, oh, there we go. I have my reference images up on my left, on my screen there. I don't think I need anything else out of here right now. Oh, I do want, that's what I wanted my sketchbook for. I remember now. Because I have my thumbnail sketches in here, but I have a larger sketch, and that's what I was working from. Oh, I don't think it would. If you'd like it, you can, like, you know how to get in touch with me. If you send me your address, I have international stamps. Because I write to my friends and family in Japan all the time. Well, not all the time. Usually once a year for New Year's. But anyway, yeah, if you'd like it, I can just put I'll just put an international stamp, boop, right here. It's like international, what is it called? Forever. So it's, once you buy it, it works forever, even if the prices go up later. So yeah, if that's the only thing holding you back, then you send me a message and I shall send this to you. Yay, and I would be so happy because this has been sitting here for a week. I just been looking at it, I'm like, what do I do? Because it already has, this is the Patreon specific one with the little message on it that I handwrite it on Photoshop and then I print it on for everybody. So it's not like I can just put this, I don't know, in the local shop where I sell my postcards or something. It keeps trying to fly down. You know what? How about we just put it in the corner there? It keeps wanting to fly down here anyway. Oh, yay! Hooray! I'm so happy this postcard will have a home! Ah, that's such a relief. They're just sitting here waiting. Okay, now I have my sketch. So this is the sketch I'm working from, except this is the change, so ignore this wing. We're not having a wing up. I decided not to. So this part will be this instead. Ah! Okay. I'm finally ready. And this mouth, okay, that is something I wanted to look up. So let me hold this up close, because I know this blue is terrible. This mouth, I'm not sure about the interior. Well, like, what the heck does the inside of the cormorant's mouth look like? So I'm gonna see if I can find a picture that shows baby cormorants. I think it probably won't matter too much what kind of cormorant it is, because these are gonna be griffins anyway. Waiting to be fed or something. See if I can find any image that will just give me a hint about what it should look like. Oh, interesting. The baby puts their head into the parent's mouth. And they have a little pouch at the bottom. It's kind of like a pelican a little bit, but they're a lot smaller. I'm going to show you them. Here's the pouches coming down. And then here's another image of the baby reaching into... Well, our babies won't be reaching in to get the cupcake out. The parents will just hold the cupcake. What I'm hoping to find, though, is not so far away. I mean, I guess it might be hard, because it would be really invasive to take that kind of photo. Here's another example of how interesting it is that these cormorants, it seems the top beak is the one that opens more and the bottom beak stays straight. I always imagine it the other way, that the top is straight and then the bottom opens, but instead it's like the bottom is straight and the top opens. Oh, those are crows. Blast it. This had a picture of at least the tongue, but it was a crow. This one's called fish. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy! This is exactly what I wanted. Whoa, their tongue is like hollow. This is exactly what I wanted, though. This is a baby cormorant. Who knows what kind? It is all black, though, so maybe it's a maybe it's a little pied, or it's just a pied, because there's a pied one and then there's the little pied one, but it's actually kind of intimidating. It looks like a frog. Like a frog's mouth, but that is what I wanted to see. What exactly is going on inside of the beak? And it actually doesn't look too different from what I've drawn. It's just that their tongue is hollow, so that's interesting. So yeah, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit and redraw it based on this image that I found. Yay! Alright, just like a big gaping hole, which makes sense. They gotta have room for like a whole fish to go in there, so it's not that weird now that I didn't think it was weird in the first place, but it is a very big gaping mouth. There. Something like that. Oh, Wolf! I know, Wolf! Thank you, thank you! 8 months! Yay! Awesome! Wow! The time flies. And at the same time, it feels like it's been way longer than that. How are you? How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. So this weird cormorant tongue. I'm not sure what it would look like from the side, actually, as I found the picture that shows it from straight down. I guess I'll just do a more recognizable tongue, even though maybe that's not naturalistic, because I can't be sure, actually. It's the interesting hollow tongue. Maybe it should be sticking out like this. Okay, hold on. I'm having to use my imagination a lot for this one. That's why there's lots of erasing, because I draw it and I'm like, wait, that angle doesn't look right. Okay. So the angle, I've got these lines I've already drawn to help show the angle is sort of coming out of the page like this instead of just off to the side. But maybe we can find, there's often similar pictures. Aw, none of them are like this. This is such a great picture. Maybe if I click on the website, it will have more from the same... The title is Hungry Baby Cormorant at Argyle Pond in Babylon Village, Long Island, New York. Oh, this is New York, so this is definitely not the same kind of cormorant. Thinks I'm his mother and ready to give him a fish. That's adorable. I was hoping to see more like that, though. But I found the one. Wow, this cormorant has caught an eel. That's incredible. Oh, here's a newborn one. The inside shows the inside. It's just a big hollow space for a fish to go in. Catching a catfish. Aw, that one is sleeping. That is freaking adorable. Oh, here's another example. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Let's see if you can see that. More examples of the inside, and the tongues on these ones are down, so I think I'll use this. This is the only one I can see the tongue. I'll use this shape as an example. As a inspiration? Delicious tea. So actually I wasn't too far off on the shape based on that one. I think I just need to lower it down because it's a lot closer to that sort of scoop of the lower jaw, the lower half of the beak. And I love that it's already sort of naturally a heart shape. I'm going to accent that and make it a heart-shaped tongue. Take it even further and make it a heart shape. I already feel much better about this. about how this mouth looks. It was really bothering me when I looked at it. I was like, well, I took a week off so I could come out with fresh eyes, and it was still bothering me, so that's why the first thing I did was focus on this. Alright, that's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's a Gryphon anyway, so it can just be whatever I want. I'll clean up some of these sketch lines so it's more clear what I want to keep and what I want to not confuse me when I transfer these lines over. Scoot my trash can closer to me. It's still far away. There. Ah! So happy! So happy! Got the eye, got the star in the eye. And the bit around the eye, I do think I need to draw some indication of the eyelids. But maybe I will also add a little, it's not anthropomorphication, but it's not 100% naturalistic to just put this little extra bit of, we'll say it's the beak, pushing up against the eye, so you're not really seeing the eyelid on that part. Because the beak is so big. So huge and open. Thank you. Yay, I'm glad. Here, I know you cannot really see this blue pencil. It's the irony of the blue pencil. It's exactly why I want to use it. Because then it makes sketching easier because it doesn't compete with sketching. It makes the transfer process easier because then it doesn't compete when I decide what I want the final lines to be. Graphite can get really, really dark and then it's hard to tell if I've traced it or not and all these other things. But the whole point of the light blue is that it's not captured very well by image capturing technology. Hopefully we can make really good progress and I can add red line to everything that I really want to keep that's not obvious, and then it will be time to transfer. Even with needing to take a break, I'm definitely doing better this year with my main illustrations than I was last year. So like I've said before, I only made one in the first half of the year, and then I made one in the second half of the year. That was only 2. And for reference, something that's always in the back of my mind, when I took my first illustration course for my degree, and I said, oh, I make about 1 illustration per month, and my professor was instantly like, that's too slow. I was like, oh no, what do I do? And so ever since then, it's always been in my mind, like 1 a month is too slow, and I've never been able to beat that, and it's actually pretty hard to even maintain that. But I realize that it doesn't matter that much because the only obligation I have is what I have set up myself, my Patreon. And so I set it up to be 1 a month. As long as I'm meeting that, I think that I'm doing fine. Okay. So I'm adding the wing in. It's kind of hard to tell how far it goes down. I think it goes down a little bit farther. This baby cormorant in a, well, we'll call it a juvenile instead of a baby. The wing goes all the way down past these sticks for the nest, so it's hard to tell exactly what's going on with the wing. I'll just put put it like that. And at this angle, I don't think I'd be able to see the other wing on the opposite side, even though that's how I drew it here, but this part, the neck is coming out so far, it just doesn't seem realistic for it to be visible. I think it would be more like right here. Okay. So something I definitely wanted to do to help show that all of these fellows are griffins and not just cormorants is to have the tail coming up all happy, even though I don't know if tiger quolls actually do that, but have the tail all happy, like when a cat is all happy and they're trotting along, their tail is straight up, or when a dog is happy, of course, his tail is up and wagging. Would do the same thing here. So regardless of whether it's naturalistic, I think it's a visual language that the human viewers of this card will recognize, this illustration. Or at least I hope. I like it too. You cannot really see it. Yeah, it sucks. I like it too because it kind of circles back and points to the cupcake. So it's like, so the face is looking at the cupcake, the tail is looking at the cupcake. Okay. I don't know if I want to draw the spots on the tail or wait for painting. I think I might wait because then it will be softer, because if I draw it with a line, then that becomes a really hard distinction, but with fur it's not that hard of a distinction. It's, you know, there's this little bit of wiggle area where there's both colors of fur coming through, so I think I won't do that there. I could add some indications of the feathers here, the individual feathers. I don't want to draw each one, but just add a little feather texture by adding some lines. And then they get longer and longer as they go farther down. I'll try to show that they are curving, because the wing is not all the way flat. It sort of has a gentle curve to it. Try to use these to show that. That's pretty good. So what I'm seeing on the reference image is very, very fluffy feathers all on the head, all down the neck and the chest. But this juvenile little pied cormorant has very defined and adult-like feathers on the wing. So hopefully this will show that, show both textures. I'm just adding some along the edges so that it's a more varied texture instead of just this straight line going down. Will show that the feathers are making a slight bump as you go down. And hold that up. Yeah, I think you can see. It's really hard to see this super subtle fuzzy texture I put, but there's the feathers on the wing. Alright, who's next? I think I want to draw the cupcake next with the parent holding. I've got to find a parent feeding, hopefully a close enough image that I can see. I'd like to see the underside of their beak if possible, but I might just have to look at a... There's a common cormorant. Maybe this one I can put... This search I shall put. Little... I'm going to put the specific name of the animal. Little pied cormorants. Getting fed. Nope, it gives me the same results I got last time. I'm going to see if any of these images that I collected from before will have the kind of thing I'm looking for. Oh yeah, this site had excellent images. There's our cormorants just kind of standing there. Fluffy ones. I just need to see the underside of the beak. I don't know if that's a pose that I will be able to find, because they're almost always from the side instead of underneath. Oh, but here's one flying. Oh, nope, but the head's still on the side. I was like, yay, a flying one, so I could see the underside. Nope. Alright, this one does have a little bit. It's a juvenile, but I can see a little bit. It's not just like a flap thing for the beak. There seems to be these grooves that are underneath. Because there's also that pouch that I never noticed before when they're feeding or getting ready to eat. It's kind of like a pelican pouch, but way smaller, probably to fit the fish in. So, oh wait, this might be it. This might be exactly what I needed to see. Ah, wonderful. Ah, this site is awesome. Yay. Okay, I mean, I don't even know if I will be able to depict that much of it, but I really wanted to rotate. 3/4 view I wrote. This is from the side, but I want it to match the angle of the baby's head. So I want to rotate it a little bit. So see if I can imagine that. I have to completely imagine it. Even if I searched forever, I'm sure I wouldn't find a picture of a cormorant holding a cupcake in its mouth, so. Alright, so this is, it's looking this way, so let's put the lower jaw here. And it just sort of, there's a little curve on the beak, but it's only on the top, really. The bottom one just curves along with the top. So that the curve fits on the bottom, like that. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I've got to remember, this is not from the side. It is my default. It's not a very useful habit. It's my default to draw things exactly from the side. It's a very childlike way of drawing. But this we're trying to capture 3/4 view. if possible. So here is where that ridge or groove to allow space for things. So in this case, it's probably allowing space for the cupcake to fill the mouth and carry the cupcake. And so right here would be the pouch part. Okay, bottom part done. Yay! I actually need to draw the cupcake next because the cupcake is the next thing, and as far as the layers of what we're seeing. So first the back or the bottom part of the beak, then the cupcake, then the top part of the beak. And might only be able to see the little curved hook gripping it, but let's get a nice cupcake picture. Cupcakes. Did I decide on a color? I don't remember. I feel like I talked about it, but I didn't actually write it down. I kind of want it to stand out, but I don't want it to be... I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what color the cupcake is right now. Cupcake. Cupcake, cupcake, cupcake. I do remember I thought it would be more likely that cormorant griffins would not make this piped style frosting, that they'd have the more just... How would you call it? You use like a offset spatula to apply it. So I'm looking for that kind of... Oh, here's one. I think I need like a picture of a cupcake flying, because I'm not seeing it from... They're all from the top down, and I kind of imagine it being that the bottom would be in the bottom part of the beak. Maybe it wouldn't. I'm going to search cupcake from below. No, nobody has a cupcake image from below. I'll just have to use my imagination. I shouldn't look at cupcake photos. They look so yummy. Alright, something I do want is cupcake no wrapper, because they would not feed the wrapper to the baby. They'd take the wrapper off. Oh, that one has wrapper on. This is more like a muffin. Ooh, this it has wrapper on it. Seems like I can either get one with the wrapper on it and not the kind of frosting I want, or I can get the frosting I want. Well, that's okay. I shall use one for the bottom and one for the top. So this is I think that's nice. I just don't want this piped frosting. Alright, so we'll say circle part, and it's going to be very rough because it's a cake texture, so it's not going to be like a hard edge. And then it has a slight tapers out slightly. And then these ridges in from the paper. And I'm drawing it very wiggly lines, and not very can't think of the word. I was gonna say not very consistent. That's not it. They're sort of perforated. I'm drawing the lines like perforated so that it's showing that soft, bubbly cake texture. And as the cupcake comes around in space, the lines between where those bumps are from the wrapper will get closer together. So as we get closer to the edge, these will get closer together. So I'm trying to keep in mind that it's round in space and that it's at this angle and these kind of things. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty good. Actually, I want to soften this line up a little bit. Ooh, I think it's actually taking the bottom line all the way away. I'm going to redraw it to show the points where the ridges from the wrapper meet with the bottom. Ah, yay! Okay, now I need the just sort of hand, I mean, it's all done by hand, but not piped frosting. Just, I was going to say ladled on. That's not right either. Hand applied? No, I don't know. Maybe if I search types of cupcake frosting. Well, ways to frost. Ways to frost. Ways to frost a cupcake. Oh, this is exactly, it's a video though. I don't want a video. But this has exactly what I want. Oh, this is the same one, but it's not a video. Wonderful! Yay! Yay! All these different ways. Step-by-step tutorial with video. I don't need the video, though. That one with the rose shape is so cute. Wow! But I just want, how do you do basic? Although, none of these are basic, actually, because even the most basic looking one, they're all using a piping. Flat top look. Ah, but this is kind of what I want. Like, right here, this part, using the offset spatula. That's what I imagine these griffins would do for their cupcakes. Alright, so there's a little, well, it's a muffin top because it's basically, cupcakes are basically really sweet muffins. So we're going to add this nice round muffin top. So it's still part of the cake at this point. It's the cake part is got its own level above the part where the wrapper was. Cleaning it up so that I can get an idea of what the whole thing looks like. So I drew the line a little bit higher up this second time. On the one hand, something seems a little bit off. On the other hand, I just want to move forward, so I think I'm just going to do that. And now just this nice little spatula frosting. Yay. Yay! Oh, my voice is breaking. Let me get some more tea. My bitrate is still absolutely atrocious. I don't know. I've never had this happen. What is this? It's just this red line. It's so sad. Well, I guess as long as the stream is still streaming, then that's fine. Now I'm adding little swirly circle kind of things just to represent the puffy baking powder, baking soda texture of the cake. I don't want to add them everywhere, but just here and there. Ah, wonderful. Thank you for the update. Yep, as long as it's still good for everyone, I won't do anything. I don't know what I could do. I guess I could make my quality, turn the quality down or something, but it's not like I'm streaming a game or something. There's not that much visual. Oh, I won't worry about it. I won't worry about it too much. Okay, here's the cupcake so far. Ah, sorry about that blue. It just does not show up very well. I turn it at an angle, maybe it's better. I'm going to add, for some reason, those little flat sprinkles. Really says birthday to me. So I'm going to add those little flat sprinkles. Try to make it look random, but also try to make it look evenly applied. Yes. Hold on, this cupcake site has so many ads popping up and it's visually distracting. I gotta get that out of here. It's so hard to go to websites these days because so many of them are just like, you just want to read this article about something and it's like there's ads in between every paragraph. There's an ad that pops up when you first show up, like sign up to our newsletter or whatever, and then there's also the little ad at the bottom of the screen that you click X, but 30 seconds later it comes back. For me, it's so what is it, sensorially overwhelming to try to read something like that. And a lot of times, I just like, forget it. I'm not reading your article. I will find the information elsewhere. Okay. Let's add a little bit of texture to the frosting, but trying to make it look different from the texture on the cupcake. And I think that's all I needed. Just right here. There was nothing really going on right here, so I added a little texture there. Now, actually wondering if we would even see the top part of the cormorant's, the parent cormorant's beak, but I will draw the hook part coming down here. Maybe even another instance of whether or not it's naturalistic. It might just help the viewer to be able to see, oh, this is the bottom half of the beak, here's the top half. Let's see. I'm wondering about how far out this is sticking. I've got the bottom part of the beak sticking out this far. I might need to retract it a bit. I feel like this feels good for where the top part would be gripping. But I guess this is closer to the viewer, so perspective might account for why this is sticking out farther than this is. It's not sticking out that much farther either. Yeah, I'll just leave it. Ah, I just hit my light with my hand. There. Oh, it's almost break time. 2 minutes. Wow, we made a really good amount of progress. Even with my little showing off the supplies that everybody helped me get. All my supporters, all y'all Twitch subscribers and Patreon subscribers. And it is such a relief to hear the lead in here. That's one of the items that I got. To hear the lead shaking in here. Yes, I have lead. I don't have to try to reserve my pencil. Yeah, man, I think this is good. I was thinking about not... Considering whether I want to add the baby's foot. I think you can see the difference between the black and the dark gray that I used to color. But I had the foot gripping the side of the nest here. I think it might actually still be good to add that. So let me get to an image that shows the feet. Oh, look at this, perfect. It's the same picture. I just need to go to a different part. So you have black feet, black webbed feet. And they're surprisingly dexterous. I always just, I don't know, in my human presumption, I thought that they couldn't possibly have webbed feet and also have fine dexterity, but they are gripping this branch like nobody's business, so they are perfectly capable. Alright, and this claw. So hopefully this shows that it's the webbed foot, and they have, looks like they have 3 larger front fingers and 1 little smaller one on the inside, kind of like a thumb, but they're all 4 connected and all 4 front facing, I think, but maybe I'm seeing one wrapping around. Oh, thank you. That's okay. It's so late for you. At least it's gonna change for the better for your time zone, right? When we have daylight savings time change. I think so, because I remember it got worse last autumn. I could be misremembering. But that's coming up soon. But yeah, if you're sleepy, you should go to bed. Oh yeah, and it's my break time anyway. Yeah, I'll show this little tiny foot that I drew. Meep. This little foot, I think actually might be a bit small for the size of the griffin. I'll redraw it bigger when I come back. Oh good. So it'll get better after what? After this weekend? I can't remember. Well, anyway, I'm going to go to break, so I guess you're going to go to bed, which is good. I hope that you have wonderful, sweet dreams, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me right away, too. It was so great to be welcomed back immediately after taking the mental health break. Okay, everybody, I am going to take my little 5-minute break, do some stretching, walk around a bit, just get in a different environment, which is great, not just for my physical health, but to be able to make this image better, because I can get my eyes fresh. So I hope everybody else will do the same. Get some stretching in, look at something in the distance. Put my be right back sign. Mute my mic. I will be back in 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm back. I just gave you a little cameo of my cat Kiki, who came in my room and wanted to get all of my stuff, so I had to pick her up and put her outside so she wouldn't get her fur all over everything. And also she likes to walk in my area where I sometimes burn incense by the window, and then she gets her paws all in the ashes and walks all over my desk. And then there's all these dusty paw prints all over, so... Oh, Aoife's coming in. Chappy too, come on. Good girls. Lay down. Lay down. Alright, now both my dogs are in here. They are my co-workers. They always like to hang out in here when I'm live streaming or working or doing anything. Okay, we're back. Time to resume work on this. Oh yeah, I think I shall. Well, let me zoom out of this image first. Yeah, I think this foot needs to be a bit bigger. But I do like having it on here. Now that I've done it. I wasn't sure about it. That's why I hadn't drawn it yet, even though it was in the original sketch. Wow, it still says unstable. Blast it all. Alright, let's make this foot bigger. Because these are not baby babies, these are like juveniles. I think that's alright. So it should actually be almost adult size, I imagine. Or at least a lot bigger than an infant. Oh, that's way better. You make the claws a bit sharper. These are predator animals, so the claws should be sharper, and I think the angle of this claw can be better. Hey, that's good. Yay! Now, is that everything for this one? I think it might be. I think I'm now done with this griffin, this parent. So we do have a couple of griffins in the background here, but it feels better to me to move from closest to farthest away now that I've got these two established. So the next one will be the sibling, the second of 3 siblings, facing the opposite direction, having received one of these lovely cupcakes. So I'm just drawing the head and the elegant neck, like snaked back. And the neck comes down and becomes a chest. Let me go to another reference image of the babies. Okay. Just figuring out where I want to put the wing. And then since it is a griffin, I think in this case, the way the nest has ended up, we would be able to see the front foot. Or at least just this little bit of leg. It's in the sketch. It's covered by this top edge of the nest, but the way it's landed here seems different. Need another reference image. Trying to see how far back the mouth goes. The mouth goes way back behind the eye. But this is the excellent opportunity to anthropomorphize a smile onto this baby. I've drawn the mouth empty for now. I'll add the cupcake in later. Ah, I see. At this angle, I'm going to redraw the bottom part of the beak. At this angle, it would need to be under the top part a little bit more than what I've done. I drew it sort of curving outwards, but it didn't seem to make sense visually once I had it down on paper. Ah, I left a little bit of eraser, but I never know what to call it. A little eraser bit, yeah. Alright, here I'm going to show that pouch that we discovered that I didn't realize they had, kind of like a pelican. Maybe actually the top part would come up even higher because they open up at the top, it seems, instead of at the bottom. Ah. Oh yeah, that's more like it. That's more the strange angle that I've come to expect. That might be a bit too long. Shorten it up a bit. There we go. Yay. So now just paying attention to how the feathers seem to grow on the face for the juveniles. Aoife, what are you doing? Don't be knocking down my stuff. My big dog, Aoife, stretched out and then I saw a bunch of cables go wee behind my desk. Oh. It looks like she just touched them though. That's why my mic right here, two of the, what is it called? Polar patterns. Because I had to put a note on there. Two of them are broken now after I don't know what happened, but she got entangled with the cable, the USB cable going to my mic, and it crashed to the floor. So whenever I hear her and a cable at the same time, I'm like, oh no! Just make sure you're not tangled up. Doesn't look like it this time. I had to put some chapstick on just now. And take a sip of tea. So this baby, I imagined having a sort of happy anime style eye, because this one has a starry eye. It's about to receive the cupcake. This one got the cupcake. So just super happy, silly anime eye is what I imagined. Although it doesn't quite look like the right angle for the way the head is tilted. Let's try and draw it again. Alright, that'll have to be good enough. I think what it is that doing a naturalistic uppy anime eye for happy doesn't really work with this angle, because even if it's straight on, like the eye was here and it was an uppy happy, this angle would make it look flat. So I'm just going to use some creative license and draw it the way I want, even though it doesn't make sense with the angle. Since the point of this illustration is not to be naturalistic, but to express birthday greetings in a unique fantasy way, with a unique fantasy scene. Oh, Chuppy's itching her collar. Okay, and this baby should also be nice and fluffy fuzzy. Their nares are very hard to recognize, the bird nostrils. I actually feel like I have not been able to distinguish where they are. I'm just looking through some of my reference images to see if there's any close enough and really high definition. I think that they probably occur in the area between where there's a black stripe along the top of the beak. And I bet that the nares are invisible there. Or maybe they don't have any. I don't know. I cannot see them, so I just won't draw them, I guess. Where'd that picture of the baby one go? There we go. Okay. So we've got... And I have no example of what the bottom part of the babies look like, if it's more adult looking feathers or if it's this fuzzy baby looking feathers. These ones' wings are... Oh, here's one. Okay, it's still the fuzzy feathers. Fuzzy, 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 fuzzy. There. Something about this is bugging me. I have to keep redrawing so much because I have tons of reference images, but nothing that's exactly the pose that I need. So I have to keep using my imagination. So I have to fix it every time. It's like, wait, nope. What I thought is not working. All right, we'll just do it like this. We don't see any bit of the back. We're only seeing the wings. Guess I'll hold this up. It's been a little while. I know it doesn't look like anything. It's not a very attractive stream to anybody who doesn't know what I'm doing. It looks like I'm not doing anything. So there's this second sibling, and here's that interesting angle that I keep seeing for how they open their beaks. Alright, got the wing. Got the leg, the rest of the body. Oh, the tail, because I wanted this one to also have the tail coming up. So it's just, spine is coming down like this, comes back up, and then it will curve around, and let's say the tail will come out right here probably. And I think having the tails cross is cute too. Plus maybe this will help, because it's like, what is this? If this is going to be the first half of, or the front half of the card, the greeting card. And so you can see like this tail right here, and then like the tip of this one's tail. But if you don't know what you're looking at, maybe it would attract the viewer to look at the back half of the card and see this other part of the scene. I know I've said it before, but I am now aware and always trying to design for the fact that people do not expect the back half of the card to have illustration on it. So I've been trying to design my greeting card illustrations that are covering both sides of the card to have some sort of invitation to look at the back half or discover the back half. So perhaps this tail sticking up here will do that for this one. Alright, let's add the cupcake. This cupcake we will have mostly frosting showing. Erase away some of these other lines to show where the cupcake will be covering up the bottom half of the beak. Okay, I'm realizing that this is a little too tall for the cake part compared to the proportions that I gave that first one, which I'm very glad I drew first because it helps establish what do the cupcakes look like. It's easier to draw a big one and scale it down. Maybe I should draw the cupcake bigger. I think that's what's really bugging me. I keep getting little tiny bits of eraser stuff in it. I gotta pick it up. It's so distracting. Okay, I got that. It must come off the eraser when I set it down. this is the bottom part of the cupcake. Here's the top part of the cupcake. Here's the frosting. Oh, that's better. That's better. Hooray! And the little flat birthday sprinkles. For some reason, the flat circle sprinkles say birthday to me. We'll draw 2 right next to each other on this one. And one sticking out on the side here. I'm still trying to go for random but evenly applied for the sprinkles. And I suppose we can show a little bit of this heart-shaped tongue right here. So it's already been established here. So I imagine we'd be able to see a little bit right there. Awesome! So we have gotten a whole nother griffin added. I think I'll probably add the lines to show the feathers on this one too. It's not too much farther away than this one. I'm making good progress, as usual. I am always pleasantly surprised by how much progress I can make doing these 2-hour illustration streams. This isn't really, I mean, I've live streamed illustration before, but not as like a dedicated thing. I've just done it because I had a project I was working on and I wanted to stream that kind of thing. Not, yeah, dedicate is the right word. Not as a dedicated Wednesdays always illustration kind of thing. I want to use my kneaded eraser to lighten up some of these feather lines, because I think it's a little bit too I imagine the light coming down from a natural source, so that'll be the sun, and so that'll be in the sky, and that means shadows will be cast down here. These birds are black when they're juveniles, so the shadow on black feathers, I don't think we would even be able to see the edge of this wing now that I'm really thinking about it. But the light would cast highlights onto these upper parts, so I think that's really where we'd be able to see more of these, more of the definitions of the individual feathers. It's probably the same story over here. Then again, there might be a little reflected light coming from the nest, but there's a lot of griffins hanging around this nest, so the reflected light might be minimal. I'm wondering if I'd be able to see the foot through this little gap, or if I want to I think I might just fill this all the way in and let it be a solid wall. Okay. Feel satisfied with this one now. I don't know if I showed the cupcake. There it is. Yummy. I really want some cupcakes. My birthday is coming up next month. Ah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna do a Lord of the Rings watch through. 4K extended editions, of course. And I'm gonna do it over 3 days because it's way too long to do all. I don't know if there's actually enough waking hours to do it. There's definitely not enough waking hours in my every day, and I don't want to sit for that long. So anyway, 3 days. Lord of the Rings, the extended editions are long enough that it's like 2 hours, intermission 2 hours, so I'll have 2 meals ready, or like maybe a meal to start with and then a snack or something. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited for my birthday. I was hoping to find, there was a vegan bakery I found here, and they do birthday cakes and stuff, and I was hoping they could make me a hobbit hole cake with, like, you know, like a sculpted cake, but they don't do anything so elaborate, so I think I'm just gonna make regular stuff. Like, I thought maybe first day would be brownies, second day would be cupcakes, and third day would be a cake. I'm looking at this cupcake. It kind of looks like it's falling out of the baby's beak, but I wonder if that's fine because it's also quite whole and not being gripped very firmly, so maybe it's in the process of being positioned and consumed. It's obviously in the process of being consumed, but maybe it's just at that very beginning part where it's just barely touched the mouth, and that's why it looks like it's still sort of falling. Okay. I do realize something now that I have finished both of these little babies. This other parent I was hoping to get them completely in frame, but I think they're still going to have to be cut off the way this is going to be cut off. I think that's the only way to do it, because based on the size of this one, I drew this one about the same size, a little smaller, but there's just not room to have. The parent is meant to have just let go of the cupcake, basically. So yeah, I'll have to just draw it with the neck being cut off. So here's the parent head. So the parent's head should be at least the same size, if not bigger, probably bigger. Now, did I find a reference for what they look like straight on from the front? Everybody always takes their picture with them looking off to the side. I guess because it shows their eyes off really nicely. Oh, this one's kind of from the front. It's at like a 3/4 view, so that's closer. Just scrolling through this awesome repository of little pied cormorant images. Dang. How about this one? Anything on this search? There's a straight on one. I would like to find one where the head is pointed down. Maybe I'll have to go back to Google image search on the phone. Aoife agrees. Still scrolling. Hoping to find, but not finding. Alright, let's go back to the image search. We're searching for cupcakes, but now we're searching for... Oh, I'll go back to that previous search. Baby cormorants waiting to be fed. There were plenty of adults included in these images. Of course, I just searched cormorant, not little pied cormorant, so there's lots of different species. But mostly, if I have the shape, I think I can approximate what it would look like. How about cormorant feeding babies? Oh, that's a cool looking cormorant. Brandt's cormorant has a blue pouch on the bottom of the beak. So this is the down angle I'm looking for, but it's always from the side. I'll just keep scrolling, hopefully find something. Otherwise, just have to completely use my imagination. I'm sure I can figure it out, at least enough to move on with the rest. But I would prefer to take it from more... I would prefer to make a more naturalistic drawing in that respect. So close, but it was facing away from the camera. Look at the camera and put your head down. Alright, I give up. Let's just use my imagination. Let's go to a nice reference of... Can I zoom in on this? No? Dang. At least if I have a... Okay, this will work. Nice reference of what the head looks like in general, then I can infer from that and I think make my drawing based on that. So the mouth comes out pretty wide actually, because it goes back really far. But the top half of the feathers on the head come out really far, so actually I think that would not come in like this. Okay. I'm overclocking my imagination. Imagining a 3D thing that I have not fully ever seen in 3D. I've actually never seen it in 3D. I've never seen one of these in real life. Okay. But does this make sense? I gotta move the head up. Alright, I need a bigger eraser. The head either has to come up or it has to be at a different angle because the beak is going to be so long that it's behind, which doesn't make sense. Maybe I'll have the beak being open, dropping the cupcake in. And then I can keep the head the same height and at least not cut off the head, even if I'm going to cut off the neck here. Now let's do that. So if we're going to do that, so if the neck is coming this way, I think it would be more natural to turn the head this way. Or then again, if it's just barely on top of the cupcake, like right here. Erase away the cupcake where the adult's beak is hanging over it. Letting it go. It sounds like Eva's snoring, but she's definitely awake. She's looking at me and she's licking her chops. I guess you don't have to be asleep to snore. She's proving that right now. Well, yeah, that works. I think it works anyway. And you can't really see the eyes because they've got this fluffy crown. They don't seem to always have it, but I think it's a lovely texture, so I'm going to include the fluffy crown. Show these really longer feathers that are at the top. Indeed, let's make the beak even longer. So the head is coming up and it will come around. The elegant necks. Like that. And then into the body. Alright, let's get a reference up for the full body. Hopefully from the front. Just need it to be standing. But not one of these drying off pictures, because there's lots of these pictures of them drying off and then they're extremely fluffy, like all their feathers are stuck up because they're trying to dry off in between. It's actually a pretty simple shape. This one will work. And then the wings lay pretty flat against the body. other wing would be right here. Alright. Awesome. Awesome. And then since it's a griffin, we need to add the legs on the front. Become the arms. Yep. Aoife absolutely has a sense of time. She's gotten up and she's looking at the door and wagging her tail. She can tell that we've got about 10 minutes left. Oh, that was her just scratching on the door. I guess I'll let her out. She'll probably want to come back in, but... Oh, Chappie pops up too. Oops. Out you go. Maybe I should install a doggy door on my studio door. Then they can come and go as they please. Although it is nice to be able to have them in here with me if we don't want them to be, say we have like someone coming over to do work on the HVAC system or something. It's nice to shut them in here with me so that they don't bother the people doing the work for us or whatever. So plus I can't afford a doggy door right now anyway, either way. Alright, so I've got these front legs. I've got the front half of the griffin, but this is a sitting down pose. So now it's time to add the haunches. Tiger quoll haunches. So we can actually erase this part. Man, this is awesome progress. I wonder when I will ever get used to the fact that if I can just focus, I can get a bunch of work done in a small amount of time. Alright, so the trouble here is that this stick is blocking the back foot. I want to think about, should I just erase this stick or should I change the foot? I don't think either one is particularly more important than the other for the scene. If I do it like that, I guess that's all right. Here's the belly sitting down here. Erase away these lines. And then I think the other foot would be visible right about here. Sweet. And then the tail for the adult, I decided would just not be visible, maybe hanging down back over the other side of the nest. So I suppose now it's time to draw. Although, I see. This doesn't make sense. Hold on. So the spine comes down like this, through the neck, and down like this. This front leg is too far over. Or this one is too far away. And that would also mean this back foot is too far over too. So let's just get rid of all this stuff. It's so nice when you can find exact reference photos for what you want to draw. Because when you can't, stuff like this is just continually happening, as you can see. So if this foot is this far away from this sort of midline that I created, the other one would be back here, and maybe we would see it right here, and the toes would be visible here, I think. Ah, that's better. Okay. Okay, that's good. Five minutes to go. Well, let's see how far we can get on adding this the third baby, which is sort of the inspiration for this whole scene, because it's the cake face baby. This is the first birthday. How baby humans always like to decorate themselves with the cake as much as they like to eat it. So cake face baby is going to be, head is going to be in this corner, because if we put it in this corner, it's really close to the, it's not the gutter, but it's the fold of the card. And if we put it here, that becomes a sort of nice little line between this one and this one. And I'll draw the head a little smaller because it's the farthest away so far of all the griffins we've drawn. And I'm drawing this version here. No wing up though. That was just a test, but I like it with the wing down. So this is the wing down. Alright, I'm struggling to imagine this. Another instance of it's completely from imagination. I do not think a baby cormorant would get on its parent's back like this. But these are not cormorants, these are griffins. So I'm tapping my eraser on the page to pick up the eraser shavings, eraser bits, eraser dust. I like to do that, and then it's very easy to get it in the trash instead of all over the floor. Okay. I think what's giving me trouble is the way the neck curves. I think I've got to change. Or we only have 2 minutes. Maybe I should just leave this and come back to it. I mean, I'm definitely gonna leave it and come back to it, but maybe I'll leave it off now. I have been using my imagination quite a bit still using reference images to help it along, but I've been having to do a lot of things. I mean, even this cupcake could not find a cupcake photo from below. There's only from the side or from the top. So I had to just use my memory to be like, oh, and then also just that it's a fairly basic shaped cupcake. And then, of course, this is a totally different story. Could not find an image that looked like this. This is a really, really tough pose to use my imagination to figure out how that would look. But this is a pretty good progress. So we've finished this one, including fixing the mouth, which was bothering me, and adding the little foot down here, adding the feather texture, tails, adding this sibling. This cupcake with the close by parent holding it, and then the farthest away parent feeding the cupcake to the second sibling. Also noticed that the legs didn't make sense with the rest of the body. Fixed that. And then started drawing the third sibling, but we're going to leave that for tomorrow. Let my brain have a break and come back refreshed. Oh, and now we are exactly at time, so let's raid somebody. Yay! So I've got to get on to Twitch on my phone in order to... Oh, look at this. Margot. I always say her name wrong. Margot Simone. Margot Simone Art. Because we always have to... We decided during one stream that it's a pirate pronunciation. Margot Simone Art. Let's raid her. So let's see. So I have to go to my own stream and then go into the blah 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 and then go into the chat. /raid. Oh, yeah, my keyboard remembers. Woohoo! Alright. Ready to raid in 10 seconds, it says. So while the countdown is happening, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today, especially since this is my first stream back after taking a much-needed break. I will be back tomorrow to work some more on this. Based on the progress today, we might be able to finish this tomorrow, so that'll be really exciting. I hope to see you then. But it's time to raid now, so let's go! Boom! Oh yeah! Looks like it worked. So for anybody who is still on my channel now or watching the recording later, that's it for me today. As I said, I'll be back again tomorrow. I hope to see you then. Thank you so much for watching.